Hey everyone, and welcome to the finale of Zero Escape 999. We have completed our final escape room. We have learned nearly every truth there is to know about the Nonary game 9 years ago, and what has been occurring in this one. All that remains is to do two things. 1, determine who June is, and 2, get off of this ship at last. The door opened and they stumbled into the library. The shaking had stopped, but they knew the danger hadn't passed. They ran across a hallway straight for the large metal door. Next to the door was the Uranus card reader. They slid the key card through and the door rumbled open. Out of the library and into the hallway they ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. Junpei reached into his pocket to pull out the key as he ran toward it. The key he put into the lock was the Neptune key. He turned it. The lock clicked. As one, they shoved the door open and poured through it. In front of them was another great metal door. Above it was a metal plaque. It read Incinerator. And we are here once again. So this is the incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door. Yeah, right here. Junpei ran up to it. Pull that and the door should open. Got it. As he spoke, he pulled the lever. The motor in the door groaned as it slowly ground open. There was no time to waste. As soon as the door had opened far enough to admit them, all four dashed through. Then suddenly, there before them were the four who they parted from earlier. Ace and Lotus stood in front of the number 9 door. Santa was curled up into a ball against the wall of the incinerator, holding his stomach. Oh no. And then there was June. Oh no. She sat slumped against the wall, exhausted. What had happened? Junpei ran toward June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt down. What's wrong? Are you okay? Her face was pale and her lips dry. When she spoke, he could barely hear her. Junpei, you came to get me. Of course I did. I made a promise. I'm so glad you're here. So glad. She mumbled the same words over and over weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking. Hey, what happened to you? I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though. Are you sure? Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me. She was looking toward Santa. Junpei turned to look as well. Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Seven grabbed him by the collar and roared at him.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips as Seven shook him. I don't have it. I got sucker punched in. They took the gun.
What? Who took it?
What, isn't that obvious? I took the gun. Fucking of course. Ace. He did indeed have the revolver in his hand. It was pressed against Lotus's temple. Ace had her pinned to him with the other arm and she was shaking visibly. We are here once again. Her fiery attitude was gone, replaced by fear. She didn't dare speak. There was sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes weren't flicking up to the gun pressed against her, they seemed to desperately want to say something.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I gotta say, Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical.
Seven's deep baritone rumble shook the walls. Ace sneered. You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain? The pain of prosopagnosia, right? And yep, okay. Here's where Uchikoshi starts to do his bullshit. So bear with it. I have an explanation for this. I have a theory for this, but ultimately Uchikoshi is just kind of being his not great self. Junpei's voice was casual, or at least it was trying to be. Another irritating insect. And how do you know that, Junpei couldn't say, he just knew. Another unexplainable mystery. No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go. Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red, who was placing the small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner. It beeped and he forced Lotus's hand onto it as well. Then at last he reached into the pocket of his jacket. He pulled something out and pressed it against the panel. That'd be the ninth man's bracelet then. The third asterisk appeared on the red. The thing he had used for the final verification was a bracelet with the number 9. It had belonged to the first man to die, Kubota. 1 plus 8 plus 9 is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. I believe I've won this game. His smirk made Junpei's blood boil. I had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose. Wait, something about the way he'd spoken. Did Ace not know who Zero was? Junpei's eyes flickered towards Santa. He hadn't moved since they entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in immense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure it wasn't either. What the hell did Santa have up his sleeve this time? At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. Slightly less? You're gonna leave us here to either drown in the ship or burn in the incinerator. Which one are you planning on this time? I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye.
Wait.
Ace, of course, paid no heed to Seven's request and laid hold of the lever on the red. With a sickening sense of finality, he pulled it. What? What? Why isn't it opening? Lotus tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grasp, but... At the last second, he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it onto the red. Oh god, leave her alone! He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red and then his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time. What the hell? Why isn't it opening? No! What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why? Why isn't it opening? Ace's fury and confusion had overridden all other thoughts. He had set down the revolver. It was just below the red. Seven chose that moment to act. He moved far faster than a man of his bulk should have been able to, and he launched that bulk straight at Ace. Grrr! Ah! It was over before they knew it. In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. Thank God! Okay. Ace is disarmed. Santa's disarmed. Let's figure this shit out. He rolled onto his side, groaning in pain. Ugh. Lotus ran straight for Junpei. She darted around behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between herself and Ace. Yeah, don't blame you. Do not blame you. You have had a bad time on this ship. You in particular, Lotus, have had a really bad time. Phew, that was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven.
Don't mention it.
Seven stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy.
Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I don't rip him to pieces.
Oh, absolutely, but let's first get out of here.
But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good.
Also a good point.
Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat.
9 years ago? Ah, then you must be.
Yeah, you finally figure it out. Dumbass.
Ace planted his hands on the floor and shook his head. Junpei walked toward him. He stopped and looked down at Ace with pity on his face. Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused. Oh right, you don't know yet. Alright, we'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into Door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figured it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the Nonary game, the number 9 was dangerous. Whoever had the number 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. You could add 9 to any number and the digital root wouldn't change. 1 plus 9 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, and so on. In other words, number 9 could do whatever they wanted. Ace had wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. Ace also wanted to have the number 9 bracelet himself, so that he could make use of its power. In fact, he later made use of it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number had been different, Kubota presented a problem for Ace. Kubota had known Ace's past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. Before he told anyone, Ace had to silence him. 4. But last, and perhaps most disturbing, Ace had used Kubota as a test. He wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? He convinced Kubota to break the rules so that he might see what happened. That was why you killed Kubota, but he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone else was off looking for the missing part for the red, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake. No, that's not. That was Nijisaki? Why? How did? I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid. But his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red, verified your own number, and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed, and poor Nijisaki was dead. Then you mean to say Snake is still alive? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say that I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much. Heh, well, I wouldn't blame you. Ace's self-derision was frustrating, but Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued. Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said? Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it? I handed you the pocket watch and you left the room. Ace had been in charge of the nonary project. He would, of course, have known the solution to every puzzle. It followed, then, that he knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All Ace had to do was place the pocket watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, he was able to enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Next to him was an axe that had fairly begged Ace to kill Musashido with it. He picked up the axe and swung it, burying the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. Afterwards, Ace returned to the chart room as though nothing had happened. There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment? With no reason not to, Junpei had followed Ace to the wheelhouse. When they reached the wheelhouse, Ace slipped his hand into Junpei's vest. He pulled out a piece of paper, the piece of paper Junpei had used to cheat during the vote. But it wasn't the piece of paper that Ace was after. His true purpose had been to slip the pocket watch into Junpei's pocket. It wasn't a very good plan, it had far too many flaws, and the wrong word of discovery could have easily toppled it. What had made Ace so desperate? If you remember, the pocket watch mysteriously returned to our pocket after we met back up with Ace. I even pointed this out, that he gave it back to us. That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out. Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why? Because of this. Slowly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a folded piece of paper. Junpei took it and opened it. This was what it said. Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. 0. When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As for what happened with Musashido in the in the safe ending rather, when we forced Ace through door 6 with us, it is believed that Clover, still grieving her brother, began her murderous axe-fueled rampage at that moment, killed Musashido to take out her anger, and then hid his body underneath the bed. At least that is a common speculation I have seen. I do not believe we have a concrete answer. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice. You meant to kill him from the beginning then. Musashido, I mean. I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness. Ace had confessed everything. What energy he had left him with the truth, and he sagged on his knees. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt revulsion for the pathetic man on the floor near his feet. But in among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, Ace had not been the only person who murdered those 3 men. Junpei spoke quietly. Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated. Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap. I'm quite ashamed of myself. But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do. Yeah, by manipulating Ace, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa? Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any.
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh?
Seven's face was sad as he spoke.
My memory came back, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this is all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Heh, looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Santa's smile was sarcastic and something else. Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out, so did Snake over there. But there's one thing. No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
What?
Wait, what? Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant. Like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders. Then, if you're not Zero, who is? Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made 1 more mistake. Junpei, you just said, all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the nonary game. To save someone. Save someone? Right. You were brought here to help my sister, to save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there, I saw.
Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went as wide as dinner plates and he spun around toward June. Junpei followed his gaze. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing.
What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
Seven began to mumble to himself, a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. No, he's put it together. It's just unbelievable. His face was twisted with effort, as though he were struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the side of his head.
Ugh, my head. My head. It feels like it's gonna pop.
He groaned and fell to his knees. Seven! What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode.
From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured. What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you would know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomena? For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. Building Q had been built to replicate exactly the interior of the Gigantic. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q, however, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with the receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei. Where what is going? Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it? Well, the answer to that is easy. Before we continue, I'm going to say something that is perhaps fairly obvious. In fact, you will probably be wondering why I'm telling you this, but your answer will come in moments. Zero Escape 999 was originally released on the Nintendo DS, a handheld console which, if you are not aware, has 2 screens, the top screen and the bottom screen, which is a touchscreen. Throughout this entire game, the top screen, which I've placed on the right of the screen, due to the fact that wider video works better with online video than vertical video, as the DS would have. The top screen has continued through this entire game to contain dialogue between the characters, while the bottom screen, which I have placed on the left, contains the narration. Keep this in mind as we continue, because I did this with very deliberate intent. The answer to that is easy. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures then? Imagine a river that splits in 2, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into 2 branches. It only flows in one direction, it can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where did she go? June. No, Akane. Where did you go? Santa! Why is Clover... Oh, shit. Freeze. Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. I wonder how he likes having a gun to his head. Get up. Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight, but I don't think I would either. But he just looks drained. Does something seem different about this dialogue? This is the first time we've heard Junpei's internal monologue. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking? Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens. Damn, well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon. You mean we're trapped? So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now. No. No, you can't be serious. Oh, but he is. Shit, we've got to do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. Is there any combination that'll work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook? Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh? Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping out pages like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that.
Alright, at least 7 got away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Snake, Clover, Junpei, and 7. Without Lotus. Shit.
Then there's no other way.
Lotus. Looks like she'd figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel. It's okay. Go. Lotus.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot.
Well, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
Without, if you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence. Bad?
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Huh?
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7. He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too. You don't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you? You're all idiots. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see how you're about to cry. That being said, however, I doubt we'd be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? I trust you remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I'm able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the red. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it didn't work for him.
No. What is this? Why?
The digital route should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why? Why isn't it opening? Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot?
Yes, that is what I said. Two plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. You were right!
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it. You think maybe they changed the settings? Perhaps. But to what? How are we supposed to figure this out? Shit. If I can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was a present, and the other was a future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me. Come on! Over here! That was my brother. Aoi, he was screaming. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age. Come on! Hurry up! We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got into a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home! Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It has been 2 hours since the nonary game began. We were starting to fall apart. They were children. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake. Hello, everyone. Yes, could you come over here for a moment? He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fight died down, and we gathered around him. I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday. As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Do you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends. He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say. Now, don't ever forget. So long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand? When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with a number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this door had another number 9, but this time, it was the only one. But if there's only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape. What are we going to do? There aren't any other doors? We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gone bad enough already, Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat, emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good. My brother Aoi swallowed hard and answered, I think it means that this room is gonna burn. Burn? The plaque on this door says incinerator. And that voice said that the incineration's about to start, and incinerate means to burn. No! Help me! Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Aoi, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and we kept running. The spit stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized. Oh no! Where is it? Did I drop Junpei's present? I knew I had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to! But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship, and hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a run of wind as they ran up past me, up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically. There it is! It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back toward the stairs in freedom, the door to the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. It was Hongo, Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please let go of me. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you.
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed, "Help me! Somebody help me!" Then suddenly, Akane! The door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake. Akane! He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo. You came back? I cried out.
Ha! You're too late, idiot.
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. Ah! The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the double door slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9. Akane! Akane! Are you okay? I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice. Help me! My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongo? He went out the other door. What? Then it started again. Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Holy shit. Man, I knew what it was gonna say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice. I knew it. It's starting. Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck. Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
What the hell? What the hell? What are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. What in God's name are you talking about? You aren't making any sense. Yeah, Lotus, you've kind of missed a lot, haven't you? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain this right now. I promise I'll tell you everything once we get out of here. But automatic incineration will take place in 17 minutes. You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of an idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Well, God damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Just talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. What else can I say about it but... What the hell is that? What else could I say but... What is that? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off even as more took their place and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on that screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Gah, man, I wish that thing would just shut up. Automatic incineration will take place in 15 minutes. Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it? Hey, move! Gah! Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you get to shove people around. Hey, okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. This is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it? Surely just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Huh. Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though? What is this?
What the hell?
It looks like some sort of puzzle. It's got a bunch of numbers scattered across a 9x9 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 9. Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah, well, we can hope, right? Alright, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, that goddamn voice again. Automatic incineration will take place in 13 minutes. Shit, 13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Junpei had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice. Hey, what are you doing? It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face, a frightening, evil face. It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me? Aw, don't know what to do? He was yelling, but his voice was muffled. It's simple, really, but I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine. Ha ha ha! His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears. You're a terrible person! I hate you! Oh my, how could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty. You see, I've even left you a way out. A way out? Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that and you can stop the incinerator. What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not gonna listen to you. If you're just gonna throw me back in here, I might as well just die now. My goodness, haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you I'm a fair man. If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape. The verification function of the red? Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red. Ah, so you do remember. Right now, there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1 and the second is 3. 1 and 3 is 4. To make 9, we need 5. Say, Akane, what's your number? I looked down at my left hand. The face on my bracelet showed a 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. I ran to the door with a 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel. You really aren't one for listening, are you? I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room. I already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of a fool are you? Hongo, she's 9. And she's terrified. Why are you doing this? You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys. Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle. I can't. I don't know how. Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenetic field and find the solution. I can't. Then you'll die. You'll burn alive. It's gonna be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it'll be very painful. Yeah. His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it. Automatic incineration will take place in 10 minutes. I was crying, great gulping sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow, I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the empty monitor. I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out. What was I gonna do? I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was gonna die. My palms were sweating, and my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot, so hot, I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Junpei had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed. Help me, Junpei. Help me! Help me! Help me! Junpei! 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 Please! Help me! Junpei! Akane!
Akane?
Who the hell is Akane? Shut up. Just shut the hell up. Seven and Lotus don't understand. I think Clover and Snake have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me, and I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here? Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something! Fuck. Did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her. Shit! Akane! Answer me! Akane! Junpei? I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course, but I'd heard it so clearly. Like he was right there. Junpei! I screamed as loud as I could. Immediately, I heard him call back. Akane! Junpei! That's her. She's there. Then that means... Akane! Are you in an incinerator right now? Yes, I am. How did you know? Now I understand what Santa meant. Right, there's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister, to save Akane. I think I get it now. Automatic incineration will take place in 7 minutes. Junpei! We don't have time! As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator. Got it. And I do. I get everything now. At last, I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the nonary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't believe it, but there's only one possible answer. June is. Zero is. Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself in that way 9 years ago. No, she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her no matter what. Automatic incineration will begin in 6 minutes. Junpei? Yeah, I know. Just hang on, alright? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. So don't worry, alright? Just give me a few minutes. Okay? Okay. My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. I felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him. Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. Is Snake talking to them about something? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way. Hey, what are you? Just trust me, okay? Sorry, Lotus, I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I'll apologize later, alright? Now let's have a look at this thing. We've got numbers all over this grid. Now if I'm looking at this right, I'm going to need to fill in all the empty squares with other numbers from 1 to 9. But I can't use the same 2 numbers in any horizontal or vertical row. The same has to go for the 3x3 square with the thick lines around them. That means I need to put different numbers in the horizontal and vertical rows as well as the 3x3 spaces. I think that's the rule here. It's Sudoku. Alright, bring it on. I'm gonna do this on my own with my own mind. I'm gonna solve this problem. Through the entire game, we have controlled everything on the bottom screen. We have been playing not as Junpei, but as Akane Kurashiki 9 years ago. As you can see, everything is upside down. On an actual DS, what you would do here is you would do this. You would rotate it 180 degrees, and now we can begin. The top screen continues to be Junpei, while the bottom screen continues to be Akane. But now that the top screen is our touch screen, and so we can send information back to Akane. The touch screen is the morphogenetic field. This is why I chose to play the DS version. It is fucking incredible how it all comes together. If you go back through the entire game, everything that occurs on the bottom screen is Akane. There are so many hints, so many little details that make so much more sense once you know this truth. This truly is a really fucking well done game. So, Sudoku. I love Sudoku, so let's see. Okay, we select the square first, and then we select the number. So, I typically like to solve Sudoku by going number by number, and this is not a hard one. So let's see. Right hand middle square. We've got a 1 over here, and a 1 here. So, the only place a 1 can go here is top right. Any other places we can put a 1. Right hand set of squares is done. I don't see anywhere else we can put a 1 for the moment, so let's move on to 2s for now. 2s, looking at the left hand side, these squares are all ruled out by this and by this, so 2 has to go here. Any other 2s we can place? All of the 2s are now placed. Okay. 3s. Looks like this row is eliminated for 3s, and this bottom row is. I'm trying to indicate the best I can, but there's only so much I can do. And these 2 columns are eliminated if you look up, so 3 goes here. Any other 3s we can place currently? Bottom is done. Middle. We've got a few openings, and we have a couple of openings. How about on the very top? Looks like it can be these top 2. Middle, we can go these 2. Okay, no more progress on the 3s for now. 4. Okay, I immediately see ruled out and ruled out. Ruled out by column, ruled out by rows, so 4 goes here. Any other 4s? There's no 4 in this box. We can go here or here, it looks like. Because this is ruled out by row. But that's not constrained enough. How about over here? Ruled out by row, ruled out by column, too many options. Okay, middle square. Ruled out by row. Too many options still. And we're gonna have similar here, too many options. Okay, moving on to 5s. Ruled out by row and column, and column. So 5 goes here. Okay, top is done. Next up, ruled out by row. It's 2 open. And ruled out by row, not ruled out. That's too many options, but that does mean a 5 has to be in this row. So if we come over here, 5 has to be in this row, but that's still not enough info. Okay, coming down to the bottom left. We've got ruled out by row, and this one ruled out by column. Too many options. And too many... Oh, hold on. Ruled out by row, so 5 has to be up here. So that rules out this, 5 goes here. Okay. Getting a little bit more progress. Let's move on to 6s next. 6s, ruled out by row, ruled out by column. This or this. Oh, this or this. I don't see any further info we can use. 6, ruled out by row, ruled out by column, so that's a 6. Okay, good. 6, ruled out by row, column, column, so 6. All right, starting to come together. Just one left on this leftmost column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're missing a 7, so 7 goes there. Okay, 7. Here we go. Now we've got a cascading effect. Ruled out by column, ruled out by row. 7 goes here. Next up, 7 can only go here. Ruled out by row. Down here. These are ruled out by rows. This is ruled out by column. That's a 7. Ruled out by row. Oh, wait, hold on. We have a 7 there already. Okay, so 7's in here. Ruled out by column. 7 goes here. All right, Akane, we're getting there. I'm sorry this is taking a bit. I would honestly go a lot faster if I wasn't speaking my thought process out loud. I love Sudoku. I used to do it every day, but then my Sudoku app broke, and I've not been able to fix it. Ruled out by row, ruled out by column, 9 goes here. Any other 9s? Ruled out by row, too much info. And too much info. Ruled out by row, too much. Here we go. Ruled out by row, so 9 goes here. That helps a lot. So, ruled out by column, ruled out by row, so 9 goes here. Okay, what else do we have? This second row, only one left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Any other 8s to place? Rolled up by column, by row, that's an 8. Here, rolled up by row, column, that's an 8. Next up here, rolled up by column, by row, that's an 8. Next up, rolled up by row, that's an 8. Do we have all the 8s? All of the 8s are done. Okay, 9s. Moving on to 9s. Not enough info here, not enough info here. There's just those 2 9s left and we don't have enough info. Alright, let's cycle back around to 1s. We've made a lot of progress. Actually, hang on, bottom row. Just missing a 1. Perfect. Any other obvious things that we're just like missing 1? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Missing a 5. And with 1 square filled, we get the first part of the answer. Okay. Anything else that's really obvious we can fill in? Okay, we're gonna cycle... Apologies, we're gonna cycle it back around to 1, and I'm gonna take a drink of water. Okay. Missing a 1 here. Don't have enough info. This is ruled out by row, so this is 1. Then this must be 1. Okay, missing 1 number in each of these 2 squares. 1, 2, missing a 3. 1, 2, 3, missing a 4. And 1, 2, 3, missing a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, missing a 5. 1, 2, missing a 3. Okay. We're almost there. We are almost there. 1, 2, 3. Missing a 4 in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missing a 6 in this one. What else do we have? We're almost there. Let's see. Do we have all the ones? No, but ruled out by column. Oh no! Oh no! What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Oh my god. 1. And I unclicked it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5. 1, 2. Missing a 3. 1, 2. Oh no, we still have that one too. Okay, 1, 2. Missing a 3. 1, 2, 3. Missing a 4. It's all coming together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missing a 6. Okay, just a couple numbers left. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing 6 and 9. 6. Let's start with 6. 6 ruled out by a column here, so 6 goes here. Then 9 goes here. Then, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Missing a 5 and a 9. Well, we just put 9. And we've solved it. 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. 6 plus 5 is 11. Plus 15. 11 plus 15 is 26. Alright, let me fix these screens real quick. Yes! That's it! Akane! Did you get it? Yes! I did! I solved it! Well, I mean, really, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did. Now I just have to press enter. Then what the hell are you waiting for? Push it. Okay, I will. I hit the enter key. Emergency shutdown command has been acknowledged. Incineration system has been shut down. Junpei! What's wrong? It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked! Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him, but they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I'd had left disappeared, and I collapsed to the floor. For a while, I just lay there, laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst. Phew. I can't quite believe I did that, but I'm so glad. So glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. No, I don't have time to be thinking about that kind of shit. I need to tell Akane. Akane, sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay? Oh, of course, that's fine. I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were the 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind. Now, well, Seven and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your lives, guys. So the answer we got from Akane is 26. Thinking about bases again. 26 would correspond with the 17th letter of the alphabet. Think about what letter that is. And let's continue.
Junpei, are you?
Okay. Ah, shut it. Right, okay, so maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing holding me back now. Here goes. Wait. Automatic incineration will take place in 90 seconds. Fuck.
It
Doesn't sound like it's stopping. What the shit? Why isn't it stopping? Okay, maybe I didn't hit the key hard enough. Just hit it again, and again, and again. Okay, that's not working either. The alarm's still going off. What the hell's going on? I've got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect. So why the fuck isn't this thing stopping? Automatic incineration will take place in 60 seconds. Wait, of course. That's what these numbers under the puzzle mean. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Snake, Clover, me, 7, and Lotus. Then, door 9. No, that's it. The number on the door isn't a 9. In the Japanese language, the word for 9 is Q, spelled in Latin characters as KYU. It's not even a number. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a Q. So this was a slight mistake in localization. In the original Japanese version, Zero did speak over the loudspeakers that entire bit of instructions on how the game works. For the international release, for particularly the English release, I'm not sure about other ones, but I'm sure it was similar, they changed it from Zero telling us to Zero giving us a piece of paper, because the number 9 looks like a letter Q, whereas in Japanese, the number 9 sounds like a letter Q. Holy shit, of course! Then we just have to put the right number into the red and... Automatic incineration will take place in 30 seconds. Run, guys! Get to the door! Run! Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, don't have much time! Man, I sure hope they can just trust me on this one or we are all fucked! Alright, no time to explain, just go. Quick, verify your numbers on the red. Verify? Who? What combination? All of us. We all need to verify. Why? You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it. Hurry, 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 hurry! Automatic incineration will take place in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2... Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled. Oh, thank fucking Christ! No time to be happy, time to go! Hurry! We've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go, go, go! Come on, guys, move it! Okay, they're all through. Move it, Junpei. Just in time. And there goes the door. No, don't calm down yet. You're not done. We've still got to find the dead.
Shit. Looks like we made it, huh?
Man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. I guess Snake probably can't see the sky, but he sure can feel the fresh air. I just want to take a nap. Akane! Akane! Akane, can you hear me? I want to tell her we made it. I want to tell her how good I feel. But nothing. The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother. Akane! Owie! I cried his name even though my voice was almost gone from screaming and leapt into his arms. Oh, owie! Akane! I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever. But I couldn't. The moment I'd passed through the door, my bracelets had begun. The countdown to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a moment to get to and scan all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. That was it. Phew. You did it. We have saved her life. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective who he'd called 7 and 9 years and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open. Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again. Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again. Aoi was right. It was time we got moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar Seven and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiraling stairs to freedom. Up. Man, these stairs go on forever. But if they can get us out of here, no wonder we're running so hard. My heart's beating so hard I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. Huh? Is Seven talking?
Hey, Junpei, can I ask you something?
What's up?
That door, the one with a 9 on it. Why did it open?
Yeah, all 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. That makes our digital route 8. It shouldn't have opened. That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already. Huh? Why? Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases.
Bases?
Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2? 0 and 1. How about base 10?
That goes from 0 to 9, right?
Then how about base 16? 0 to F? After 9, it starts at A and goes from there, B, C, D, etc. You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on.
So, what about it?
You don't get it? What if we kept going with that pattern? What if you go way past base 16 all the way to base 27? Base 27? Yeah. Well, the numerical digits are the same, so I guess you'd add alphabetical digits. E is 14, F is 15, G is 16.
H is 17, I is 18, J is 19.
K is 20, L is 21, M is 22.
N is 23, O is 24, P is 25.
Yeah, and what comes after that? Q!
26!
And what does that mean? That wasn't a 9 on the door.
It was a Q. A fucking lowercase q.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27. Time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. I swear any moment now I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell of my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are gonna burst. Maybe just a short rest. No, can't stop. Don't have time. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run. Run like a bullet down a rifled barrel. Like a tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. I feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally! Phew! Jesus, I can barely breathe. No, Junpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together, you're almost there. Alright, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're finally here. Please do. Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. But even more important than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. You're gonna open, and you're gonna open now. I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Aoi's. I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Aoi's. He gave it a small, reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace. And not only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped were finally able to escape from the gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed out across the ocean, and then it was gone. It's over. It's over, Aoi whispered. Yeah, it was over. It was finally over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years. Yes, finally, air! Gah! Damn, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. I gotta admit, this doesn't look quite like... Wait. No way. You have got to be shitting me. What?
It can't be.
This is...
This is the building in the Nevada desert.
the mock experiment building. Oh my god, this whole time we were in building Q. Sure enough, that's a desert out there with mountains all around it. Hello there, sun. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Right, our bracelets. I guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of those. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip like in an ATM card. Yeah. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. It was just an NFC chip. There was never a detonator to begin with. Figures. Akane. Junpei. Guess I must be pretty crazy about the girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. There is a post-credits, so stick around. But that was Zero Escape 999. What a fucking incredible payoff this game has. So, I said before that the number to open the safe and the coffin was the key to spoiling the game. Now, you may have thought that my hint was about digital roots, but it was not. I was a little misleading, but the game revolves around 9s. So let's take this number and multiply it by 9. And what do we get? 1, 2, 9, 4, 5, 0, 7, 8, 9. June had the 0 bracelet. Her number was 0. The contents of that number, when multiplied by 9, was the identities of each of our bracelets. There was another thing I had that I wanted to say, but it keeps slipping. There's so much to say about this game. It's so good. There's just so much to say. I can't even, it's not even coming to mind, so let's hope it comes to me shortly. Are you okay? Oh, come on, this is nothing. Really? Yeah, you don't look okay. It was just before the end of elementary school. Junpei and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill looking down at the town as the sun slowly set. How does it look then? He was half serious and half joking. I thought about it for a minute first. Well, let's see. It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they just kept growing and growing and growing. Heh, what does that even mean? Junpei grinned and, ow, ow, ow. See, I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't be 5 8th graders, Junpei. That's crazy. Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something. Look at the Nevada desert go past. For an SUV, this thing has a pretty smooth ride. Sure was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building, keys in the ignition, and gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know? Anyway, we jumped in, and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lotus is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are all squeezed into the back seat here. I still can't believe we let her drive. Woohoo! This is so fun! This is so awesome! Driving is so great when there's nothing around! And there's no speed limit! Hey, Clover, watch those bumps, alright? This car jumps even a little and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it. I can't help it if I'm big, alright? Suck it up.
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license. Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat. Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and 6 are in, should be somewhere down this road ahead of us.
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Then we've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we? Sure thing. Oh shit! God damn it, she doesn't have to drive so fast. Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. We're sure throwing up a lot of dust. It was a couple hours after we'd run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kitten in gasoline. The moment that we saw what they were doing, Junpei ran up to them, furious. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. Please still at least be gentle with the kitten. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could. Help me, officer, please, you have to come with me. The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Junpei, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big swelling lumps. You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me? I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through the hole in his mouth where a tooth had fallen out. Yeah, I guess I coulda. Then why didn't you? I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up real good. Because of what they were doing to the kitty? Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester, remember? Oh, you mean the bunnies? Yeah, the bunnies. He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind. They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. Then they said they'd do the same thing to you that they did to the rabbit. I couldn't forgive them for that, so I... Hey, there's still some stuff I don't get. Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do. Like Ace. Well, I guess I should say Gentaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary project? Anybody? Any ideas?
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Well, yeah, I guess I could. He's still in the trunk, I assume. They fucking shoved him in the trunk. Eat shit, Ace. Yeah, he is. Still tied up, I'm assuming, with his mouth taped shut. Oh, excellent. Beautiful. Well, might as well have a little chat with the old man. His eyes just look empty, no emotion. He looks like he's just given up. I wonder if he even cares what happens to him anymore. Hey, were you listening to us? Yeah, go ahead and try and pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get that tape off your mouth. Come on, I know you were. Answer me. You could at least look at me when you talk, man. I only wanted to see the faces. Human faces. I thought that if I could get the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces. By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others. That's it? Yes, if you want to put it simply. But if you are looking for a more philosophical answer, I can supply that as well. You see, the human collective consciousness. I think that's enough out of you, pal. Well, time for the tape to go back on. Yeah, I don't like that, and I'm pretty sure that's not the actual reason, though, we'll get into that some other time. I don't want that to be the actual reason, because it's just so fucking Uchikoshi, what the hell? He really was just a murderer because he has prosopagnosia. According to this, and I fucking hate that. Alright, so what's your second question? You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you? Well, somebody's a little nosy. Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that?
Well, see, 9 years ago, after I escaped from the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when he finally slipped up. During the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Gordain and Alice.
You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature? Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine, I'll let you talk, but you gotta behave. What? Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was a member of the genus Mandragora of the family Solanaceae. So, related to potatoes and tomatoes then. I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. I used that extract to create Soparil. Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly. If you are in door 4 and you're having the conversation with Santa and you respond about the stock market instead of gambling, I believe he does mention, I forget if he mentions it there or if it was only in a Q&A that Uchikoshi did after the game came out. One or the other. I don't usually pick that option when I'm playing through because I think gambling is a lot funnier because it ties into the game more directly. Because of the Baccarat. But I believe it is stated either in the Q&A or in that dialogue choice that Santa and Akane, Aoi and Akane, invested in Cradle Pharmaceuticals using Akane's brief glimpse into the future. And that's how they got the finances to fund this operation, this second nonary game. They basically piggybacked off of Hongo's own success in order to get revenge on Hongo, which is chef's kiss, beautiful. Shit, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's going back on, Hongo. The rest of my questions can wait a bit. For now, I think I'll just enjoy the ride. Here, this is for you. What is this? This is a For You doll. His name is Junpei. Junpei pulled something out of his pocket and shoved out his arm toward me. In his hand was a doll made of yarn small enough to fit in his palm. Junpei, are you sure it's a For You doll? Huh? Yeah, that's what the lady at the shop said, Zo. That means it's for you, right? Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll? Oh no. What? Oh man. Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right? Yeah, I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea then. Why are you giving me this anyway? It just seems really sudden. After June, we aren't going to get to see each other too much. I mean, we're going to be in different schools, and I just thought Oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then? Okay. So, I wanted to give this you. You sound like some sort of tribal chief. Oh god, okay. To be fair, they are referencing Hollywood racism. They're not, hopefully they're not going to actually commit to it. Please don't. Yep, they're doing it. I'm not reading this dialogue. Oh, Junpei. If something bad, then hold and pray. I go wherever you are. So here, take. I reached my hand out and picked up the doll gently. Thank you. Thank you so much, Junpei. Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell into June's tiny yarn body. Oh, Junpei, I'll never forget you. I promise. Junpei looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words. I'll never forget you either. The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down toward the horizon. The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat bathed in the warm light of evening, just the two of us leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. The sun set and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened and one by one the lights of the town began to flicker on. There's still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned, and also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in the incinerator on the Gigantic. But she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the morphic field set and saved her 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then how do I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense, he's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Or wait, maybe that's not it at all. There's one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No. No way. The fucker was in on it the whole time! He couldn't. Hey, look! Over there! There's somebody next to the road! Huh?
What?
Hmm? The burning gaze of the Nevada sun pounded down on her head. The deserts around her rippled with heat. Standing there on that shimmering plain was a woman, her arm out and her thumb up. It would not be long before Junpei realized who she was. I did remember the one other lore bit of info that I wanted to say. There are tons of things you can learn about this game by playing through again, going back through from the beginning, or by reading Uchikoshi's Q&A that he did for the game. He did one after every Zero Escape game, so careful of spoilers for future games. But June's fever, Akane's fever, that was in fact her burning alive in the incinerator. Whenever something happened that would diverge from the future she saw as a child, she would inch closer and closer to burning alive, and that manifested as her fever in the present. And that's all I want to say. Thank you so much for joining me for Zero Escape 999. I first played this game in summer of 2021, and it just blew me away. Such a good game. I do want to eventually play the other games in the series, and I do want to play one of Uchikoshi's other series, AI The Somnium Files. But that will come at some distant future point. It'll be a little while before we get to that. For now, my next Let's Play. What am I playing? I run on my Patreon. If you support at $1 or more per month, you are able to vote on polls on what I will play next whenever I am coming towards the end of a Let's Play. So if you want to chip $1 or more a month my way, you have the option to help decide what games I'm going to play next. If you pledge $5 or more a month, you get access to my videos early, about 4 weeks early, whenever I finish recording, editing, reviewing, and uploading them, the whole process. I've always maintained about a 4-week buffer just in case real world events get in the way and prevent me from recording or editing for a little bit. But if you are a $5 or higher patron, you get to view the videos early. And if you pledge $10 or more a month, your name will be featured in the end slates of my future videos. Starting with the next video I edit after you begin your pledge. So then, what game am I playing next? Well, looking at the poll right now, the decision... I'm not going to tell you the name of the game, but I will give you a hint. The day that Let's Play starts will be my first day working as an intern at the company that made it. I will see everyone on Monday for our next Let's Play. Have a great day.